Perfect, perfect. How are we doing today, good people of the world? You already know what you're here for. All right, man. For competitors only, man. So today, finally got good old episode 13. We made it this far. We're doing good so far, guys. We got a special guest today. Got Mr. Major here. Everybody's clap it up for him. Clap it up for him. How you doing today, man? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm doing good. Well, I write for 5 Reasons Sports Network and do some live streams and just try to do as much content for Heat and Skyforce. If you don't know, the Skyforce is the Heat's G League team. So that's what I mainly do. Got that little, section down, and not many people do the Skyforce, so I'm that guy. So I write. Might have a podcast coming out about the Skyforce as well. So just trying to do a lot of content for 5 Reasons Sports Network. And, most people know me from Twitter. I'm obsessed with Twitter and on it constantly fighting for the good old Heat against all the bad guys out there.
Oh, God. So many bad guys. So many bad guys. Oh, man. But all right, man. How'd you become a Heat fan?
So honestly, I just happened. Growing up, just fell in love with Dwayne Wade. I mean, I'm not from Miami, never lived in Florida, never done anything like that, and just fell in love with Dwayne Wade. And next thing you know, I'm a massive Heat fan and can't stop.
And now we're here. It's like a drug, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm obsessed now.
Such a good team. You're a real trooper for covering the Skyforce now. I do appreciate that. I really do. No, not a lot of people cover Skyforce news topics, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I try to catch every free game I can.
Yeah, they're hard to watch, man. Like sometimes they're on ESPN Plus, sometimes they're just nowhere. So I've downloaded 4 different apps trying to watch games.
Sometimes they're on the app, sometimes they're on Tubi. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. You never know.
Well, it is amazing. The Skyforce are doing amazing this year too. If you pay attention to the Skyforce, Chris,
I haven't been paying attention at all.
You better tune in before it's too late, man.
Okay, I remember last year on the run that they had to the finals, right?
Yeah, it was either the finals or Eastern Conference or Western Conference finals. Sorry,
Western Conference finals.
It throws me off that they're in the Western Conference and the Heat are in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah,
but to be fair, they're in Sioux Falls.
And every time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh man, but no, I do salute you for that. Keep up the good work, because if nobody else is paying attention to the Skyforce stuff, it is me. Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
It is me. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead, start on our first topic today. Slightly rough topic, but what team do we think truly stands in the way of Miami right now?
We talking about in general or what round?
Specifically, our finals chances.
Okay, just in general. Well, obviously you got the Celtics. So, but I think that's a boring answer, so I'm not going to start with the Celtics.
Yeah, big number one.
So I'll let one of y'all take that one if y'all want to. But I want to go with Cleveland.
Oh God, you took mine.
So because gosh, they're scary. I know they don't have playoff experience, in the extent of going, a couple of rounds, but man, they've been on a tear recently. They're good. Spida is amazing. They're real big, which that's a good thing you can do against Miami.
Yeah,
and their bigs also are mobile, so it's not like they're throwing out guys that can't move. So they're throwing out bigs that can move and move pretty fluidly. So it's not like you can really just oh, now you have to play defense. Yeah, they play defense too. So they have Max Strus, and every Heat fan knows Max Strus. He might go 7 of 11 from 3, or he might go 0 of 15. But that 7 of 11 is just going to win you a game, and it's going to be absolute domination. And then they have Sam Merrill, who's another elite shooter. They got everything you would want in a good team. They got that number 1 option. They got a solid number 2, former All-Star in Garland. So I'm not saying they would beat Miami, but other than the Celtics, that's probably number 2 on my list. And I know Milwaukee is really good and has Dame and Giannis, but I think they got a lot of flaws. Just something about Cleveland really throws me off.
No, I completely agree with you. Last season, I was hoping the Knicks beat Cleveland. I was praying because I knew if we went up against Cleveland, we were going to 100% lose. They had they had a lineup of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley, and just that alone it was
Yeah.
throwing all of our plans out the window. Like I was praying every night that the Knicks beat Cleveland.
Yeah,
Like
like that rebounding battle would be brutal. Like we got Highsmith
Oh
or
my god.
Caleb Martin trying to rebound against Evan Mobley, and like no disrespect to Highsmith or Caleb, they're both good players, but it's like they're down
they're
5
not
inches.
7 foot. So they're not 7 foot.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Oh God. But yeah, to put a little more input, honestly, if not Cleveland, which I truly am afraid of Cleveland more than I am the 76ers, the Bucks, even the Celtics.
Mhm.
I would say the Pacers. Honestly, the Pacers
Oh.
Pacers really give me some shivers at night. Just with Tyrese Halliburton alone. Obviously great playmaker on the floor, great shot maker at that. I mean, Miami's main game plan going into the playoffs is if we can stop one of their best players, everybody else can have a great night.
Mhm.
So, I mean, with Tyrese Halliburton literally making everybody on the floor better, what do you do? Like Miles Turner can space the floor 7 foot. They have great role players, Benedict Mathurin. His name was right there.
Siakam?
Oh
Yes,
God, I forgot.
yes, Siakam.
I forgot they
Mhm.
had Pascal Siakam, Naismith, whatever his first name is,
Makes sense. Yeah.
Aaron, yeah.
Aaron Naismith. Oh
Mhm.
God, he torched us last time we played him.
Yeah,
Like
he's
the
good.
list goes on. I mean, they have great players, they have a great system. The chemistry is only getting
Killer
better.
TJ McConnell.
Oh God,
Dude,
imagine that.
I like
Imagine
TJ. TJ is just a good solid player, man.
Dude, he's solid. He is
Like he's
solid.
not gonna wow you, but he gets the job done.
Yeah.
exactly great fundamentals. But yeah, the Pacers are really on my watch list. I hope they stay in the play-in and get eliminated there. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh my god. A team that I low key fear are the Knicks. They, when healthy, they have a solid team. Brunson, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Randall, Mitchell Robinson.
A lot of dogs, man.
And off the bench, they have Bogdanovich, um, Hardenstein. Who else? Miles McBride. Just to name a few. That team is so solid.
They
It's it's
Yeah, I mean,
insane.
I've been talking. A lot of people have been asking this question on Twitter. I did a Spaces too, and
And Anobi, my bad.
yeah, OG, and
Oh God.
the Knicks have actually been my answer of that team that like I don't think could beat the Heat. Like I don't know what it is. Like I just feel like
I
they're
agree.
gonna be like a really annoying 6 games, but like we're gonna win.
I think
There's
7.
no
I think
doubt.
it goes to 7. I
Yeah,
think
like
we
I
win.
mean, who knows? People said like the Bucks would beat the Heat in 4 or 5 and be annoying. So like we don't really know till it happens, right? But I always think that like the Knicks, something about it. It's Julius Randle, and I don't know if y'all saw, but right before we started recording, Brunson hurt himself non-contact hip
Yeah.
knee.
Mhm.
So
Ooh.
he might be out. But if he's playing, Brunson is worrisome. OG is a little worrisome. I'm not remotely worried about Randall. So
I agree. I have no concerns about Julius Randle. It's Brunson that's the problem. He's a guaranteed
Brunson's the
40 a
problem.
night against us. He's a
yeah,
guaranteed 40 a night.
he's good. He's up there for like one of like, especially on rival teams. He's up there for like players around the league that could play on the Heat, and I would love him.
Oh
I love
God.
Brunson.
Completely agree.
Right. The list is real short, but Brunson is definitely up there.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's torture.
now that you mentioned the Knicks, I mean, I agree with you, Major. I don't think they will beat us, but it is going to be a hell of a 6 games. Like last year, it should have only went to 5. I think we messed up a good
Mhm,
bit just
for sure.
underestimating them because oh, it's the Knicks. Who cares? The Knicks, but they're like I don't want to say elite, but they're contenders. They're doing really well. Like
They're good.
They are. They're
for
good.
sure. I'm not saying they're
Very
not
good.
good. Yeah.
Like that's when I like usually when I think about the Knicks, I'm just like, oh, it's the Knicks. Why would I care? But they're legitimately a good team. Like it's quite worrisome. The only person that I don't worry about on the Knicks is Julius Randle, and that's it. That's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Who are switching lanes into your lane a little bit. I know you don't pay attention to the G League much, Chris, but who do we think that we could pull from the G League that would have a significant impact on the team?
I forgot his name. He was averaging like a triple-double the past 3 games, but he was picked up by someone. I know that.
Bouye was signed by the Spurs on a 2-way.
Yeah.
He was the obvious answer when we were talking about it.
He was literally number 1.
Yeah.
God,
he would have been a good one. He's a little undersized, so that might be a plus for Miami. Who knows? But he can do a little bit of everything on the court. So you're hitting the head on that one. I wanted him in Miami.
I know someone that really upset me that we didn't even give a 10-day was Justin Champagny. Like he was literally doing everything for the Skyforce. He was a guaranteed 25 a night, 10 rebounds. Like, and I'm talking about every single night, like the bloodline of the Skyforce. And we didn't even look his way. Like I was so concerned on when it was coming, and then the Wizards scoop him up just like that.
Yeah,
just like that.
Signed a 2-way too. He signed a 10-day and then just signed a 2-way too. He's a good big body. He's like a guard forward. So like he's really physical on his drives. And when he was making his threes, he would get hot from 3. So I put out a video a little bit ago and I named 3 players that I thought deserve to get contracts or could be the next Heat guy. And Bouye was on it, and Champagny was also on it. So 2 of the 3 are taken. But Champagny, I think he does have some flaws, like all G League players do, and even most NBA players have some flaws. But Champagny definitely can find a sticking point in the league. If he takes some of that physicality he has on offense and uses it a little bit more on defense, and then another thing is like some of his fast breaks decision making. Sometimes he can pass it up ahead for an easy layup and he doesn't, and he takes it. I don't know if he doesn't see it or what, but I think those 2 things, if he corrects those, he has a chance to really make a roster on a standard.
I agree. Like just straight off watching, like not even numbers alone. Justin was great. Like he had good hustle, he had good fight. Great intensity. I mean, defensive end was slightly shaky, but he was a great player for getting in the lanes. I liked him a lot. I was really like wondering when we was going through our little injury reign. I was like, hey, now just for 10 days, we could use him. A good 10 days. Not even a lot.
I wanted them to sign a couple guys on a 10-day. I mean, like give them a shot, right? Like we need a guy. We only have 7, like or 8 or how many ever it was. Like let's just sign the guy for 10 days and then send him back down, but at least get him some experience.
Exactly. I'm looking at the Skyforce roster right now because like off the top, exactly. At the top of my head, like I can't really name many guys who we necessarily would need. Like, we wouldn't need Brandon McCoy. Like we're number 1 in the West in the G League. Like the Skyforce is hooping, man.
Yeah, they've been doing great. I'm interested to see now that they, have lost another guy and how they replace it. 2 players that I think, I'm not saying they could like make a big impact on the Heat this year, but like 2 players I think you should watch out for is I'm going to say Josh Christopher. I mean, former first round draft pick, smooth bucket getter, can do everything you want on the offensive end. He was on the Salt Lake City Stars, and the game that Alondas dropped 55. Josh Christopher was like dominating that night too, and just got overshadowed. He actually started 8 from 8 from 3. When I was talking to him, I said 7 from 7, and he was really quick to correct me to 8 to 8. By the way, and so he's he's just a good bucket getter. And, like I said, not perfect, but he sacrificed a lot. Like his whole role is different being on the Skyforce than it was on the Salt Lake City Stars. So I'm theorizing with like Bouye gone and now Champagny gone, and Alondas, he hasn't been back down since he's been called up. Especially if Alondas is with the Heat, I think we're going to see Josh Christopher start putting up some real big numbers. Now, the second guy, I just wrote about him, so y'all might have seen the article if y'all are listening. But Caleb Daniels, he's just a good player. Like he gets his numbers and he gets his impact like in the flow of offense and plays good defense as well. And I can tell you that guy has a mentality of I don't care who we're playing, and I don't care who's like next to him. He's not concerned about players getting called up. He has faith in his team, and he has kind of like that Heat culture mentality of like, hey, we're gonna fight. We don't care who you are. We got a bunch of dogs. So I love that attitude from him, and he's been killing it recently. Like he's been shooting like 50% from three in the recent games and averaging like 18, 20 points around there. I haven't looked at exactly his stats to be honest with you. So it might have changed a percentage point or two, but he's been killing it. So I think those two names, Josh Christopher and Caleb Daniels, are guys that I could see being the next Skyforce guys getting a 10-day or two-way, if not this year, maybe next year.
No, I agree. Like, I think Caleb Daniels has just started to get his Skyforce shine for sure. Because like when I've been watching, I was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Like he's a great standstill shooter, great wing three guy. That's mostly what I noticed him doing. I'm like, it really concerned me because I was like, because at first he usually wore the same shoes as Alondas did. So I was like, oh. I saw the shoes first. He usually wears the Kobe's, and I'm like, oh, it's definitely him. And I look up, no, it's Caleb Daniels. So he's really been catching my eye recently. But like you said, he has a real, head down mentality. He just goes out, plays hard. I haven't heard him complain much about minutes. I don't see him ever play with a bad attitude. So it looks like a good player to me.
No, yeah, he'll do whatever the team asks him to do. And so he'll have a bigger role now, so he might start putting up even better numbers now. But yeah, I've really enjoyed his game blossoming recently.
All right, yeah. The only downfall of Skyforce is we have no big man.
Yeah, they have Malik Williams, who he's pretty solid, but he's not like a traditional big. He's kind of more the modern day, like he shoots some threes but he's been a really good rebounder, but he's pretty skinny. And then Isaiah Moore is more recent of a pickup. Is even skinnier and kind of like that athletic big too. They don't have they have tall bodies, but not like like big bulky bodies. Like throw it down on the post, which you don't see that as much in NBA, but you see it a lot actually in the G League. There's
they got
couple teams with some big bodies.
They got one guy like that, Brandon McCoy. I mean,
yeah.
He's not
really in the rotation right now.
Yeah. So. The crazy part is he used to be. They tried it at least. They gave it a shot.
Yeah.
He's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna down the guy, but he's all right.
No, yeah. Any of these people, and I always say this when I'm talking about NBA, G League, or college, any of these people would absolutely cook me. So like, I'm not gonna be like a bad basketball player. I'm gonna be like, these are top 1% of the 1%. These people are insane.
Absolute dogs, really, really. But yeah, I mean, that just our roster for the Heat looks pretty solid right now, to where I wouldn't say we could just plug in a G League guy. Well, at least there used to be, but they all got picked up. So at least not currently. I could say we have somebody on the Skyforce. I can be like, hey, call him up. He'll be great for us right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on to the next topic. We have our final Eastern Conference playoff standings. Chris, I'll let you take this one away.
Final Eastern Conference playoff standings. I'm gonna have to say, obviously, number one, it's got to be Boston. They've been crazy, They've been on a tear.
No, it's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be. Like, yeah. For number two, it's like tough between Cleveland and Milwaukee. They're gonna be always at the top right there. They're like a regular season team.
Who's the regular season?
Wait, what?
Who are you saying is a regular season team? Milwaukee or Cleveland?
Let's say both.
Yeah.
Let's say both. I want at least the Heat to be a 4-5 seed around there.
It's possible.
It's possible now. Yeah, definitely.
I'm
With
looking
all
at it.
these
It's
injuries,
possible.
it's very
Yeah.
possible.
For sure it could be.
Yeah. The Knicks can be like that 5 or 6. It's a toss up between like them and the Pacers. Yeah, for sure. And then like the play-in, it's gotta be like 7-8. It's gonna like Orlando. Orlando has been nice. And I would say like the last spot, it can probably go to the Bulls. Why not?
Nice toss up.
Why
You're gonna
not?
have the Bulls take the 8 seed?
Maybe.
Maybe.
They're a confusing team.
They are
but
confusing.
Why not?
They could win. They could win 2 games and then
I
get
feel like
in.
they
That's
can
what
win
they
2
have to
games.
do.
They can definitely win 2.
Yeah. I don't think you'll be far off, to be honest with you.
I don't see it. I do like the idea of us being in that 4 spot, though. I like that a lot.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I'm looking at the standings now and like trying to think. Like Brunson, I haven't seen, what his injury is. That's a wild card.
Very true.
Let's see.
He literally makes or breaks the Knicks.
Yeah. So I'll go Boston 1.
It's a sore left knee, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he it seems like he avoided something major.
Probably.
Okay.
11-game winning streak. Oh my god.
So then I'll go Boston 1, Milwaukee 2, Cleveland 3. I'll go either Heat or Knicks 4. I'll go Heat 4. Have some guts, right?
Right.
Knicks 5, Magic 6, Pacers 7, and Philly 8. That's what I'll.
I forgot about Philly.
Well, like Philly throws me off because like is Embiid gonna be there? Is he not? Is he gonna come right before and then he's still not like fully in rhythm? That's why I think. That's why I put him 8. Like they fall back to the play-in. I think they'll lose that first game to the Pacers, and then to me, the Bulls, like you said, I think they can beat people, and the Hawks same. I don't trust either of them to win 2 in a row. I am not a big believer in Trae Young. So
yeah,
everyone knows
me neither
that.
now.
But yeah, so that's why I wouldn't choose them. But like, they all got people that could go off. Trae Young could go off for 2 games. Kobe White could go off. DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso. I mean, like DeJounte Murray. They all have good players, but I don't see them winning 2 in a row. So that's why I'm going to go with 76ers at 8.
God, the Boston Celtics have won 11 games in a row.
Yeah, they're good.
Like it is insane. Like the Boston perception in my head is just a bunch of fluke guys who play basketball. Like it makes no sense in my head to me because this is just 100% bias. Like the Boston Celtics have a great team that have put together. I just have 100% bias in my head. Like it makes no sense to me how they're this good. Granted, they beat us every game this season, so I've seen it happen on how they're such a good team. God, but Boston has that one spot in lock. They're flipping 48-12, like ridiculous.
If they blow 8.5 game lead, that'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That'd be a euphoric feeling, really. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'll give Boston that one spot. I don't think Cleveland holds this 2 spot for very much longer. I think they drop down to the 3rd spot. Milwaukee takes 2.
Mhm.
The way it's going, how at least how it looks so far, I think we'll take the Knicks. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to give us the benefit of the doubt to give us the 4 spot because I know how we do. You know, once we have a good feeling, we just like to disappoint fans. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say we'll take that 4 spot, but Philly or the Knicks doesn't feel right to me. Especially with Embiid being out and potentially Jalen Brunson missing a couple games. But I will give us that 4 spot for now. I'll give it to us. Why not? We're a good team. We're on a roll. I'll give us the 4. I'll give Knicks the 5 because I don't think they'll fall too far. I like Orlando at 6. They're a good fight hard team. They're young, so they can run up and down the floor all night. I'm lying. I'm gonna give Indiana that 6 spot because they're too good. Then Orlando. Then, well, I guess that's playing at that point, and that's up in the air. But yeah, like Major said, I don't trust either Atlanta or Chicago to win 2 games in a row. So you can put wherever spot they can go. I mean, as long as we're not in the play-in, then I'm a happy guy because I really can't take that heart attack anymore.
We can't go through that again.
Like after whooping the Atlanta Hawks literally for the past 17 years, when it matters the most, they just spark. Like it's great.
We had a Kyle Lowry masterclass.
I was just about to say the forgotten Kyle Lowry masterclass.
Exactly. How do we fail? Oh my God.
He was sensational. He was the only one.
Exactly. Literally the only guy.
Yeah, but oh well, it made it so much sweeter.
Oh God,
exactly.
So much sweeter. When everyone was saying just lose for the 14 seed or 14 pick, you know, all those doubters, the ones that Heat fans, not even saying like not Heat fans, those Heat fan doubters. Gosh, this is why you just win. Just win, and you know the draft will take care of its rest.
Literally, we got so lucky. We got Jaime.
Yeah, we got Jaime, exactly.
God, like it literally couldn't have turned out better. I mean, granted, we lost in the finals, but
it could have turned out better. Yes, it could.
It could have won the finals.
It could have. This is the only thing we're missing is 3 more wins.
Oh, good. Yeah, it could have. The second best possible chance we did receive that.
Yeah, I'm not upset how it turned out.
Yeah, I am glad we got Jaime. He's a great addition. But yeah, I like us at the 4 spot. If we keep playing the way we do, I mean, the man said it himself. It's time. So I mean, who am I to call him a liar? Who am I to call him a liar?
And it looks like time.
Jimmy Butler's
killing
it. Jimmy Butler's been looking great. Oh man, I've never been so happy in my life. Oh, good. He looks so good right now. Like these first 30-ish or so games, like I go through the same cycle every year with myself. The first game before the All-Star break, I'm like, this man is a bum. He's washed. He's getting old. Trade him for something better.
You're one of the guys that I make fun of then. How have you not learned? Have you not learned?
Like every year, like, and my cousin's a Warriors fan. He tells me this every time. He's like, "You don't mean that. Like, you know, you don't mean that because Jimmy Butler's gonna turn up in the end like he does every year. You don't mean that." And I'm just like, he had 14 points this game. Yes, I do.
No, Bill Simmons still hasn't slept at night. So as long as that's going on, we're good. As long as Bill Simmons is terrified, you know, and Zach Lowe is terrified, you know, I'm doing good. I'm sitting pretty. We got Jimmy Butler in our back pocket. Just whenever the games matter most, just boom. Y'all don't have Jimmy, we do.
God, it's like a switch, man. I tell myself, don't doubt the man. He's gonna turn up. But I just let my emotions get the best of me. It happens every year. Every year consistently. I know for sure I did last year because we had the same start as we did this year last year.
Yeah.
And even more clutch games, so it was even worse.
It was awesome.
I
That
was
clutch game streak last year was incredible. That's what I was watching for.
God.
Me and Coop, NBA.com writer, every game we'd be like, "It's a clutch game." Like I started not even caring about the wins at a certain point, and I was just like, "Just get a clutch game. I don't even care if we win." And because I was like, "We're going to be in the play-in." They're like, "Who cares if we're the 10 or 6?"
The guy who writes Coop's journals?
What?
I said the guy who writes Coop's journals?
Yeah.
You conversate with him?
A little bit. It was mostly on the timeline. He tweets it out every time we have another clutch game, and so like I would always comment on him. He would reply. We would talk about like what's the record pace, which that is the greatest upset in last year's. Not the Heat beating the Celtics or the Heat beating the Bucks. Somehow the Heat not getting the clutch game record when it was like it was a done deal for the longest time, and then they just randomly stopped getting clutch games. Y'all were upset at the losses. I was upset at not getting clutch games.
Right. I needed the clutch games for sure. And I was more upset that it gave De'Aaron Fox Clutch Player of the Year.
Oh yeah, Clutch Player of the Year.
Over Jimmy Bucket, over the team with the most clutch games.
Crazy.
Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? God. That's all our major topics for today. I would like to talk about the Heat's surge in performance recently. Ever since our little scuffle with the Pelicans, like it's literally like a switch. We look so on. Like even if one guy, specifically this guy on my shirt, decides to shoot 2 for 9 tonight, like we still look good. It's amazing. Like the first half of the season, I would be so concerned on every small little mistake that we do because it's like a snowball effect with the Heat. Like once we start doing stuff bad, it just like keeps picking up. We just keep getting lazier, and it's appalling. Like now we'll make a turnover and then we'll go on like a 5-point run just off that. It's great. I love to see it, man. Just give me some insight, Bills.
Yeah, like their play. I think it really started with the Terry trade. Like Kyle Lowry was better than people gave him credit for.
Right?
But he didn't.
He was good.
Didn't, like, play the role that the team needed this year. They needed him to take more shots. They needed him to do a little bit more. And he was unfortunately the big contract that they had to move. And apparently there's some off the court stuff. And like, I think so, I don't want to harp on him too much and not say it's not all his fault. But I think guys were just a little bit more energized after that too. And then Terry does add a little bit that you need. But like Tyler has morphed his role, which I think a lot of people were afraid of that he would be willing to do. But if you watch him, well, he's not playing now, but if you watched him since the Terry trade, he's been taking more specifically threes or floaters or layups. He's kind of cut the mid-range out, and Greg from 5 Reasons kind of said he was kind of told he had to take some of those out because the Heat were just taking way too many mid-range shots. Because you have Jimmy and Bam.
Right.
And so he's been doing that. He's been taking less shots. He's been more efficient with them. He's been dishing the ball really well. I just love how his game has been, and that's been a high evolution. So I think that mattered a lot when he was playing. Then you got Jimmy going, supernova Jimmy, saying it's that time, joking around with the media, but that confidence joking around where, hey, it's basketball now. I mean, you look at that one interview he had. It was the first time he ever looked defeated in a Miami Heat uniform, and other than losing the finals or playoffs. Like, he straight up was like, I don't know what we're going to do. It's on us. We got to be better. He looked defeated. And now you see him in his post-game interviews. He's like, it's all right. We're going to bounce back. We're just having fun. It's just basketball. Like, that's when you know that the season's changing. It's changing into, we're here to do some damage. And then Bam's just sensational. He kind of shut down, in my opinion at least, shut down that like post All-Star break Bam. He had a couple rough games and then he's back. And, once Terry finds his shot, it's lights out.
Literally. Chris, give us a little bit of your feelings before I go on my tangent.
I just love that we've been playing like so well together. Passing the ball perfectly, shooting it well. Someone that's like gonna be an X factor come playoff times. Kevin Love, man, off the bench, he has been so freaking good for us throughout the whole season, and he doesn't get much love. Honestly, he's been so nice. Caleb too. Caleb has been playing phenomenal these past few games. Every time he's in the left corner, I know he's gonna drain that three. I just know it. I just know it. It's phenomenal. Like
last game, every time I saw Caleb Martin in the corner ready to shoot, I didn't even. There was no other thought in my mind but cash.
Exactly. Like it's crazy.
He's not been having the hitch anymore. It's been more fluid, and it's great.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
That does like Caleb Martin's shot before bothers me so much. It still does now because it's like a little like when he goes up with it, it looks good going up, but then it's like a slight little like kick, and I don't like it.
Mhm.
Like it makes everything harder, but it's a good shot. He makes it. I'm glad he stick to what you're used to, Caleb.
Exactly.
It's just not appealing to my eyes, but you're the professional.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it looks like as long as it doesn't get blocked and it goes in.
Exactly.
I can only say my opinion.
Um,
Keep going, Chris.
Duncan Robinson as a starter, phenomenal too. Oh my God, he's averaging what, like 17 and 5 assists or something like that as a starter, and like almost 50% from three. That's insane. That's what we paid him to do, basically. Like
he's cooking.
He's cooking. He's cooking. Exactly. And then we're just literally letting Terry be Terry, Like he's just playing his role and it's just working. He's been good. And then Jimmy has been on a tear always.
That's what he does.
Yeah, exactly. Bam, phenomenal defender, always. Depoy, by the way, should win Depoy this season. I'm just saying.
He's not going to, unfortunately.
I know he's not going to.
We've never given him one.
It's probably going to be Gobert with a sadly.
Right. They also in top 7. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not even top 5. Not even top 4. Top 7. Like, what are we doing?
That's crazy. That's great. Without Bam, this team would suck.
He should have at least 2, man. Like 2022 and 2020, he should have at least 2, man.
He should have at least 2. When Marcus Smart won it, he should have won it that year. Should have won it.
When Smart won it and Jaren Jackson won it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He should have had those. There's an argument he should have won, 1 or 2 more as well. But those 2 for sure. That was just ridiculous.
Jeez. But I do agree with you, Major. I was an avid Kyle Lowry fan. Might have been one of the biggest in the Heat uniform. I never had any Kyle Lowry slander. Like Kyle Lowry, when we acquired him, was exactly what we needed. Literally, we need a point guard to slow the game down, give us easy buckets and at least play defense. That's it. And he checked all the boxes. Kyle Lowry did great. He did amazing, at least in my book. I mean, granted, he would have his slow triple single games, but I mean, the man's on the way out. Like I don't know how old Kyle Lowry is, but he's pretty darn old, man. So I couldn't blame him, but he was a big time shot maker. And it doesn't matter if Kyle Lowry was 1 for 8. That 2 for 9 shot was going to be a big shot, and I guarantee you it was going to be a big shot every time. Like I love Kyle Lowry. I mean, right? He has a big contract. Sadly, he had to go, but Terry was a big breath of fresh air. I mean,
yeah.
Like, now, I mean, Kyle Lowry, he didn't want to shoot, and Terry, he's a known shot chucker. So I mean, he's exactly what we needed. We need a younger guy, move up and down the floor, and it's been great. I know a lot of people that were like, "Oh, we should have never traded Kyle Lowry," because when we traded for Terry, I think we still lost like 2 more games into the losing streak. So it was like, "Oh, what did we make a trade for?" It was looking real bad. But I mean, the energy shift is here. the energy shift is here. I mean, Terry's doing his thing. I mean, he's settling in. I mean, besides his last game when he had 14 and 8 assists, he had 2 19-point games before that. And not too bad efficiency. I mean, you can't blame the guy. I mean, he just got a place to stay. So I mean, what can you say? Right, just found a livable home. But yeah, I mean, we're doing great so far. I mean, sad that Tyler's injured, but his role has changed a lot more. I mean, I don't think he doesn't like the idea of getting the ball less. I noticed he hasn't had the ball less. He still has the ball the same amount. It just has attributed to less shot attempts. I mean, it is a lot more pick and rolls with Bam, pick and pops with whoever it needs to be per se. A lot of floaters, a lot of layups, just off screen threes. I mean, it has attributed to that. I would like to see him play more of a, off ball role with Terry. I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched enough Terry Rozier film. I know he's a scorer. I don't know his full playmaking capabilities, but I would like to see him have him and Jovic just take it up back to back by themselves. Because it slightly bothers me when Tyler Hero has it and Terry's just off on the wing, just sitting like this, and goes to set Tyler a screen or something. That does bother me a little bit, but I mean, it's kinks we can work out. I mean, we're looking great right now with Tyler injured, which I'm not saying anything. Tyler Hero is still a perfectly important piece of this team.
Very important. He's very important.
Not on my trading block. God damn it. He's not on mine. But yeah. We're looking great. When everybody gets healthy, when everybody gets good, we're gonna be kicking a lot of ass. I mean, Jimmy cares about basketball now, so I mean, what else is there to worry about? Bam's gonna keep being Bam. Jimmy's gonna be Jimmy. Coach Spo is finally giving Jovic a longer leash, so we're looking well. That's the only thing that bothered me about Coach Spo is when Max Strus was on the team, Max Strus will go literally 0 for 12, but in the last 5 minutes of the game, he's calling his number dude. And he wouldn't do it bothers me. He wouldn't do the same with Jovic. A 6'10" guy who can do everything except for defend, but he's working it out.
That's why
he is working it out.
That's why. Spo, at least got to defend. Spo trusts his guys almost to a fault, some people would say. And so, he doesn't care if a guy's 0 for 12. If you're a shooter, he's shoot the 13th. And people don't like that. He'll always back his guys, and he's stubborn with his rotations. And, he usually does save a wrinkle or two for the postseason. But if he likes a player, he'll play him. He's stubborn. Saw it with Gabe Vincent. People hated Gabe Vincent for the longest time. And Spo kept playing him. And then turns out Spo was right. Who would ever think the greatest coach of all time would be right more times than we are? I would never get that. Yeah. So I think he was just waiting for Jovic to kind of probably prove it in practice or something. He was waiting for something specific, I think.
See, that's what I think it is. Obviously, if you're not doing well in practice, why would I play you in games? So I can't blame the genius. I mean, who am I to tell him he isn't doing his job enough? But I mean, I do like to see Jovic ball out for 15 minutes a game. It makes me happy. It does make me happy. But yeah, it's getting closer to our time. We're gonna do a couple closing statements for everybody. Go ahead, Major.
Yeah, I mean, I think these last, couple games, 20 or so games are going to be insanely important for the Heat. I'm excited to see where they take off. Like I said, I think they'll end in the 4 range. And then I think we're in good shape for a deep playoff run. You could argue ideally they would be 6 and then miss, Boston in the second round, but why not send them home in the second round at Eastern Conference Finals? What's the difference, right? They're home and we're playing.
They're going home regardless.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. Any comments you would like to share?
The way that we're playing, it's just been awesome. I hope it's like this for these final remaining games. It's been said that our schedule is like one of the easier ones to end it
Second
off,
easiest.
and
Yep.
I'm glad we've been needing this.
All right, Chris.
And they're mainly at home too.
You know how our team is. When we play against easy teams. You know
That's
how
true. But we do play better at home. So
right. I'm sorry for interrupting. I just noticed we've had a shabby home record this year, and we're usually one of the best home teams in the league.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that'll turn around, especially in the
yeah.
playoffs.
Mhm. For sure.
It's gotta. Not in the
That's about it for me.
All righty. Well, yeah, our team's doing pretty good right now. I like how we're looking. People are shaping into their roles. We're doing great. Hey man, just keep putting the ball in the hole, guys. I wish nothing but the best for y'all. Keep hooping. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully we get 4 seed. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's right.
But this is Major. That's Chris. Today's been episode 13 of the Competitors Only podcast. Thank you so much, Major, for joining us today.
No, thank y'all for having me. It was a blast. I always love talking Heat basketball.
I'm already knowing. Everyone,
Sky
go
Force,
follow
yeah.
Skyforce for sure. Everybody go follow Major on Twitter. He posts very, very, very insightful information about Miami and the Skyforce.
And thank you.
All right, everybody. Today's been episode 13. You all have a good night. Oh, I can find the mouse.
You can just edit out the last minute.
Right?